beautiful girls all over the world. I could be chasing, but my time would be wasted. They got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, baby. They might say hi, and I might say hey, but you shouldn't worry about what they say, 'cause they got nothing on you, baby. Yeah, nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you. I know you feel where I'm coming from. Remembering all the things in the past that I've done. Doing something really with a better of fun. I don't understand when around I spun. In the direction I'm trying to get some. Should've done with a million summer sun. It's how I lost more than I had ever won. And honestly, I ended up with none. On the subject of my conscience, thinking maybe I screwed it all. And I don't want to sound redundant, but I was wondering if there was something that you didn't know. Another night back, we should let it go. Didn't want to be a daily episode. And now the bad thoughts is running on. Go, 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 go. Beautiful girls all over the world. I could be chasing, but that time would be wasted. They got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, baby. They might say hi, and I might say hey, but you shouldn't worry about what they say, 'cause they got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, baby. Hands down, there will never be another one. I've been around and around, seen another one. Because it's now when you really got nothing on. And you found when you ain't got nothing on. Baby, just the whole package. Then you pay your taxes. And you keep it real while some other things classic. My Wonder Woman call me Mr. Fantastic. Now think about it. To love it, I bet you Paris. Even when they get to know it. Come down to Georgia, to New Orleans. Let you feel it with your show. And let it be like that, then it won't go. And anything don't take it for. You never knew where might go. Oh, oh, no, no. Beautiful girls all over the world. I could be chasing, but my time would be wasted. They got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, nothing on you. You might say hi, and I might say hey, but you shouldn't worry about what they say, 'cause they got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, baby. Everywhere I go, I'm always giving your name. And no matter where I go, until you make me the same. On the bus, on a plane, or a car, on a train. No other girls in the rain, and you the one to say. All over the world, I could be chasing, but my time would be wasted. They got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, baby. You might say hi, and I might say hey, but you shouldn't worry about what they say, 'cause they got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you. No matter I go, you always keep them all night. No, I'm on a plane. I think I'll be on the same. I should be chasing, but my time will be wasted. They got nothing on you, baby. Got nothing on you, baby. Say I must say hi, and they might say hey. You shouldn't worry about what they say, 'cause they got nothing on you, baby. Nothing on you, baby.
Welcome back. I guess let me throw up the audio. Welcome back to Senin, the official Life Maxing channel. I had a decent week. I think overall, my weeks, I think I'm probably improving at the same rate, but it really is great to see that I am improving. I just watched my first Senin video coming back, and I was already talking about things, and then as I thought about this week, I've already really started to do some of those things. One of them being learning more information and just really digesting more information. So I have some topics. I guess I was gonna say I give myself a 2.2 out of 10 on this week. I think fitness-wise, which I'm gonna talk about a little bit more in depth, I've been doing really well, or I'm gonna start doing really well. I've been making a lot of changes. I'm going to make a lot of changes, and so I'm really happy with how that's going. But honestly, this week I just thought a lot about, fitness was probably the biggest topic. I listened to a lot of different YouTube's videos, a lot of podcasts. I've been specifically looking at creatine a lot. So I've been taking creatine probably since August, but I've been probably taking around 5 grams of creatine, and they said that there's a physical difference, improvement in recovery and in strength. So what happens is creatine is an enzyme that makes your muscles store more water, and so because of that, your muscles have more energy, and you're able to recover faster, and you get stronger because of it. You do get slightly bloated because of the water retention, or not the water retention, but because of the water. But yeah, there's not really any negative side effects. So, but recently there's been a study in the last couple of years, or theories, that creatine actually can improve your brain as well, and it makes sense because the brain is a muscle. So if you take 10 grams of creatine, the excess creatine ends up going to the brain and can improve energy throughout the day, memory, and just, mental clarity are the main factors. So I'm going to start consistently taking 10 grams. I'm also going to start calorie counting. I don't have a huge weight goal. I just have strength goals and also aesthetic goals. I really want to bench 225 again for 1 rep max. I'm probably around 215. I can rep for 205 for 3. So I think I can probably get a one rep of 215. But just recently I realized that my Smith machine in my apartment that I work out with, is actually only 20 pounds. The bar is only 20 pounds. So what I thought was an additional 25 pounds, when I put on 2 plates and was repping that, and I thought I was really strong, I was really only repping 205. And so that's why I was saying I could rep 3. But so I feel pretty good right now. I've been also working a lot on my back and my running. This week I wrote down some of my workouts. I've been using Claude now instead of ChatGPT. I think Claude's just better. The model's stronger. ChatGPT's gotten a little bit lazy, I think. They're also squandering their first to market, especially, I think it's still the most well-known. Like if you ask somebody what AI they use, if they're just a casual user, it's probably the Google Gemini or ChatGPT. Oh, no thank you. That was the AI listening in. I don't know if that's good or not. Maybe I should turn that off. But I actually didn't even know about that feature. But let me pull up Google. Okay, so it's not on the word Google. Interesting. But let me pull up Claude. So yeah, Sunday I hit chest and triceps. So that's, I don't know, I'm trying to remember what my step breakdown was. So normally when I hit chest, I like to hit flat bench and incline bench, and then normally I hit a cable exercise if I can, or do some dips. So when I rep up though, I always start around, I do 2 sets of 12, if not a little bit more, of super lightweight, which for me is around 135. Or I'll hit a rep of 12 of just bar, just to get the formation right, making sure that the form is good, and then I'll put on 45s, and then now that I know, I put on 45s with 20s, or 10s on each side. So I rep 130 for 12, and then at that point I normally throw on a 25, but then recently, since I now know that I'm actually 25 pounds below, I throw on the 10s, right? So before I wasn't throwing on the 10s, so I guess I misspoke. I normally was only throwing on 45s, but then now I'm throwing on the 10s, so 45s with the 10s, 25 with the 10s, and then if I'm feeling really good, I'll throw on I'll switch to another 45, or if not, I'll rep with another 5 I can rep another 5 probably 4 to 6 times. And then I normally like to double rep there if I'm feeling good, to failure probably the second time. And then the third time I like to take away the 5s and the 10s, and then I take away the 25 and put a 10, and then those are the last 2 sets. And then I go to incline and do the exact same thing with a little bit more weight because my shoulders are stronger than my chest is. And then for triceps, I just hit oh my gosh, I can imagine the exercise right now. I guess just tricep pushdowns with the hands. You can do bar or the cable, or the rope, I mean. And then after that, what you should do tricep extensions. If you don't know what those are, look those up. Those are insane. The first time I did them, my triceps were destroyed for like 3 days. So I definitely recommend those if you don't do them. They get the head of the tricep, and you only should do 10 pounds. If not, I started doing 20 now, but you should start with 10, and you get the tricep head, and you just really fully extend, make sure your elbow's above your back when you do it. But yeah, you look it up, it'll be a lot easier to explain. And then Monday, I started following this guy named Jeff Nippard, who's the #1 science-based lifter, and he was saying that to increase your ab muscles, there's 2 main exercises you should do. For the majority of the abdominals, you can just hit weighted crunches so you use the cables, and then you go like this. So I did those. I don't think my form is perfect because it wasn't really hitting my abs too much. And then the second one is a seated L, basically. So you can either hang, or there's certain machines where it's almost like jetpack. You like sit in the jetpack and your legs hang, but your legs hang and you just go like this with your legs, and they get the lower abs. And you're trying to sit in control, and yeah. So that one I just hung from and did. But yeah, and then after that I ran 2 miles on a 1 incline. So that was actually a little crazy story about that. My phone somehow fell off the stand, hit the treadmill, and like flew off, and it didn't break though. So I don't even know how that happened. So yeah, so I wrote here, I'm about to get super shredded. I've plateaued in my weight gains. I do think I've plateaued. So I've been looking a lot more at dieting and calorie. So more specifically in like kind of different programs. And not like keto diet or anything where I'm removing anything from my diet, because I still want to eat a ton of protein, which is another thing I've looked into. You're supposed to eat around 1 gram of protein per pound of your body, so I should be eating around 205. I probably eat around 160, so I'm missing out on gains. So I'm going to start drinking a protein shake in the morning to get around 130 to 44 grams of protein, so I can get closer to 205. So stuff like that, it's just going to help me get a lot stronger. And so I'm really excited for that. I am really excited to optimize my dieting to really see the gains that I can get and how shredded I can get. Because what I'm thinking right now is, or I guess, that's what I mean. If I'm going to work out, and drinking another 30 to 40 grams isn't a huge game changer in my life, right? But or I mean in my daily schedule, it's not a huge strain on my daily schedule, but if it can really help me improve what I already do in the gym, if it can help me maximize the activities that I already do, why wouldn't I do it, right? And there's no real negative, there's no negative side effect. So this is what I do think I'm improving. I think it's because I'm recognizing that I'm just not, I'm just recognizing, or I guess that was kind of weird, but I think I am improving because I'm recognizing the areas of my life, and because I'm recognizing them, then I'm actively thinking about them, and in the way that I just approach life, I always want to improve, I guess. I always want to make it the best that I can be. And so, yeah, so I guess I am life maxing, and it's really cool to see the progress that I'm making. And yeah, this was also really cool. So Nelk just ran 100 miles, and that truly is an amazing achievement. I don't think I'll ever even want to run a marathon. I'm just not a huge fan of running. I think running is a very easy way to see progress in life. In my last week's episode, I said that I used work as kind of a crutch, as a way to see progress and feel success in my life. And I think running is also a very easy thing to do that in, because truly running is willpower. I think there are many people, actually no, I'm going to reverse this. I don't think there's that many people whose bodies give out before their lungs give out, right? And running is really how much you can push your body, because I don't think people have, I guess I've never fainted from running, and why I'm saying I was going to faint is because if my lungs really gave out, I would just faint, right? But my legs have never fainted, even though sometimes I felt like I was going to die. Running is just a matter of willpower and mental strength. And I think that's why running 100 miles is just an achievement that you know they're mentally strong. Like no weak person can run 100 miles. And I think that's why it's really amazing, and I respect that achievement. So now I'm going to talk about some goal setting. I want to start doing kind of like 30-day challenges or 60-day challenges and really put a timeline on all my goals. I guess right now I've been improving just because I recognize certain areas of my life and then I look into bettering them. But I want to put a goal in this betterment, right? Like if I achieve the goal early, then that just helps me recognize the rate that I'm growing at. And so I want to start putting goals. So or if I achieve it too late, then that also is a recognition. I can also recognize what's going on. Or I guess not recognition, realization, that's what I'm trying to say. So I would like to 1 rep max 225, so 10 more pounds in a month. Do I think I can get it? I think I do, but I guess we'll see. But I was really inspired because a lot of YouTubers, I think it's been done a ton, but they do living on an island for 30 days. Like Mr. Beast does all those 30-day challenges, and even there's a bunch of TV shows that do living in, I don't know, where all those different challenges. I think challenging yourself for a certain period of time is just something humans should do, and it's entertaining, one, to watch, but then two, to be doing something that's actually productive in your life. It's really cool to see how fast you grow. So another factor that I mentioned before is investing. I think the two investments are two kind of areas. I guess one's a specific company. I think Amazon is going to do very well this year. And then two is I think that the chip development sector is going to do very well. So semiconductors, I've been looking at TSM, Taiwan's semiconductors. I've been looking at MU, which is a microchip manufacturer. And then I also want to invest in, I guess I am invested in NVIDIA. But NVIDIA is kind of an interesting stock. I think since it's the biggest stock, it gets manipulated a lot, and the growth is very slow. But I honestly think VU is a better buy than NVIDIA. Even though NVIDIA has higher potential for growth, I think I guess the annual growth probably is still higher. I don't know. I guess I need to really look at my facts for that. But NVIDIA has been doing a lot of horizontal movement this latter half of 2025. I don't know if you guys ever feel this, but I think everyone kind of does, and nobody really admits it. But I think I've been feeling imposter syndrome recently. Not all the time. Like I don't think I'm really an imposter, but there's sometimes where I am working, and I don't know if I should already know this, right? And it's not something that they've already told me, because I think if they've told me that, then I definitely should know that, right? Like I don't know. That's just something in my life that if somebody tells me something, I want to be able to know it after the first time. But it's more about, I guess, like, would they have expected me to learn this previously? And so sometimes I do the research myself, and so I try to get a better knowledge before confronting somebody. I guess confronting is a harsh word, but just before reaching out to somebody for help. And I don't know, it's just, I guess sometimes I get scared. But I will say that I think what drives me in life to do more is fear, or just negative emotions in general. Fear, sometimes hatred. Most of the time I don't really hate people, but I can also adopt a Michael Jordan attitude where he just takes it personally. And so I don't necessarily think it's a good thing for my health. Maybe that's just what I'm supposed to say. But I don't want to be, I don't want to be living in fear the rest of my life. I think eventually I want to find a place of peace, but I don't think it's going to be, oh man, so. But I don't think everything's going to be soon when I find peace. And honestly, I would say, I'm mixing up my nouns. I would say that I think I am at peace right now. What I'm not at is contentment, and I guess I'm kind of comfortable. I guess I'm not content with my life, right? I still want more for my life, and so, but that doesn't mean I'm not at peace, because even though I'm at this time of war, I still think I'm very calm. I still think I'm under control, and yeah, I guess that's my definition of peace. So I think in my life, my goal is to find peace, and I think if I'm at peace, then I'm doing well. But me being at peace is wanting to improve more at the same time. So I don't think of peace as a stagnant line of just wanting to be content, I guess. I think contentness and peace and comfort are not all the same. I think sometimes they can be confused to be the same. So I'm trying to remember why I wrote this, but I wrote, there's so many reasons not to, so just choose a reason to. I think I wrote this in the context of wanting to start to do the challenges, or wanting to just enact change in my life in general. There's so many reasons not to do something that at the end of the day, we just need to choose a reason why we want to do it. And another kind of perspective change I want to make on decision making is I really want to start looking more at the quality of the reason and the weight of the reason versus just the quantity of reasons not to or to do it. Because there just needs to be one really good reason to do something for me to ignore all the bad ones. And maybe that's not the way I think of things now, but it's the way I want to think of things. So another thing I wrote is you're not going to improve if you're not looking to improve. I think I wrote this in the context of, I guess, let me take a step back. I would say in my life, I'm the one reaching out to people a lot more than people reach out to me. And I wish people would reach out to me more. I just don't think I guess I don't have that friendship that I thought I did with people, especially not in Austin right now. I do have a friend group, but other than them, no one really reaches out to do anything with me. And I guess I don't have that relationship, and I don't have enough people to do that with. But I just feel like even in previous eras of my life, I've been reaching out a lot of times. And partially maybe that's because I like to be in control. Not that I'm a control freak, like I won't steal people's control, but I prefer to have a plan to do things. And partially maybe that's just because I don't want to call myself a leader, because I think that's a little egotistical. But I guess I just take charge sometimes, and maybe that comes off as a little aggressive. But yeah, I guess to bring this back to why you're not going to improve if you're not looking to improve, I feel like I'm always looking for things. I don't know, just in my life that I'm always looking to do stuff, and I think people think about that as new experiences, but that's, I guess I think about that in every aspect of my life. Like, you're not gonna get a burger if you're not the one to go get the burger, right? So you still gotta put effort for things to happen in your own life. Everything you lose by being fake, oh my gosh. Everything you lose by being real was fake. I wrote this because I was watching a Kitchen Nightmares video, and the owner was afraid of all these changes because he was afraid of losing his previous customer base. And Gordon told him, why do you care about these customers, or the customers that are coming in? Because this sector of the people aren't making you enough money to stay afloat, right? You're not making any money, you have no profit, and you care about this. I can understand about caring about the individual, but you also got to realize that this type of person, this demographic that you're catering to, isn't enough for your business to be sustainable. And so I think maybe this is where people really get content in life, when people search for contentness, because I guess this is when people confuse peace and contentness, because honestly, most of these people aren't at peace. It's just so overwhelming for them that they are afraid to do anything, or don't want to make any change to make it worse, I guess. Maybe they've lost hope in themselves, and so they feel like they can't trust themselves to make any change, or partially because they're just so stuck in their ways, right? They're not looking to change, which I think if you're coming to the channel, you're probably looking to change, so. So I wrote observations and thoughts. This was sorted by Claude. Before the internet, you just had to do things by word of mouth. New music was found by going to see them, or I guess listening to CDs, but it really is people you know, the closest expert you know, and you just ask them. But nowadays you can ask the internet, you can ask AI. It really has, word of mouth has lost its value. There are still, like I really like word of mouth for food places, because of course robots aren't eating food, or technology's not eating food. So that's a good word of mouth thing. I think music is still pretty good word of mouth. We have that AI DJ on Spotify, but I don't really use him. I guess I do use the algorithm. Sometimes I'll just let random songs play, and I guess that is technology giving me recommendations. I guess that's kind of interesting to think about. But yeah, everything was word of mouth back then, before the internet. It's crazy. This was interesting. So I was listening to Jensen Huang talk, and he said, this was in the context of artificial intelligence is replacing software engineering jobs, which we've always thought software engineering was you had to be the most intelligent person to do it, right? The most intelligent person is the best software engineer, but it's not really about that. And so his definition of intelligence is knowledge and just knowing information. But what he thinks makes the best software engineer is how smart you are. And he thinks the definition of smart is critical thinking. So I would say I think I'm pretty smart. I don't know how intelligent I am. I definitely use artificial intelligence as a crutch. Like, I'm always so impressed by the people that know every single road in the city. And they're like, oh yeah, on the corner of MacArthur and MLK. And they're like, oh yeah, I know what that is. Like, I think I know the big things, the things that I go to, right? But I'm not memorizing every McDonald's on the road. I just have to look at Google Maps, right? And even the places that I do know, I like to Google Maps it just for the time. So, I don't know, but I don't know, do y'all think that's the definition of intelligence versus smartness? Being smart? I don't know, I kind of do. I like the difference. One's critical thinking and one's information. I think that's why it's artificial intelligence, because the AI, or I guess the technology, just knows a bunch of information. It recognizes patterns. Is it really critical thinking if it's been taught that? I don't know. Oh, this was really crazy. Some dude, he made a bunch of AI songs, uploaded them to different music platforms like Spotify and Apple Music, and then he botted his songs to get millions of listens. And he made $130 million, but then he got caught, and so now he's getting sued, or he's going to prison for 20 years. Or he's in court right now. Penalty of probably 20 years in prison and all his money gone, which is around $130 million. So it's crazy. Honestly, I don't know what he did wrong, other than scamming the big companies. But I feel like a lot of people bought on Twitch streams. Like, I don't know if it's just a rumor. I don't really know what's going on, but I've heard the rumor about them botting, and then they charge sponsors because they say, oh, I'm reaching out to 10,000 people when they're really only reaching out to 2,000. And so, I don't know, are they scamming too? Maybe they should get sued. And then this is my last section. I had some kind of really scary, I guess one's scary and then one's kind of it is what it is mentality towards. But so the scary one was, so it's really cold in Texas right now. So it was 22 Fahrenheit, now it's 29, but we're still below freezing. And it rained, so all the roads were super icy. And I was driving on the highway. I was going 60, and then we went into this bend, and I was in the outside lane. And so that's where it was icier, but I didn't see any ice on the road. And I literally fished. So we're going into the turn. We're going into the turnaround, and my back rear just starts to go left a little bit more, and also on my tires I feel like just don't have the same traction. And so I'm like, oh shoot, I'm just gonna skid. So I decided to get out of the lane and try to get to move one to the right. And so I eventually able to turn my car. So we get into the right. I get control of my front tires, but my back tires are still in the ice. So then I turn left to swing my back tires to the right, and so now I'm fishtailing, and then I'm able to eventually swing it back into control. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. I'm lucky I didn't hit anybody, and I'm just lucky there was nobody driving right next to me at the time, because it was pretty crazy. And then second, which is the it is what it is moment, my car got hit. It got backed into, and so I wasn't in the car. So I can be mad, right? I can hold it for a little bit, but at the same time, I just gotta let it go. I wasn't there. I really couldn't have done much. Maybe I could have parked somewhere else, right? But it's life, and so sometimes, I don't know. I just can't let emotions take over. I think that's just it's out of my control, and so I shouldn't get emotional. I shouldn't get upset about things that I can't control, and sometimes it is what it is. But maybe is that the life maxing mentality? Maybe that helps me just move on towards life and focus on better things without being detrimental, without it hurting productivity. But yeah, welcome back to life maxing. It's going well. I'm glad. I think fitness has gone a huge improvement. I'm still learning new things, thinking about new things every week. Switching out of rock climbing. I don't know. I guess I haven't said that. Switching out of rock climbing because I don't think I'm meeting the people that I want to meet. In the community in the city that I'm living in, I don't feel like there's a lot of casuals. In Los Angeles, when I was there, you'd have people going there for their first time, or they've never really rock climbed, they're just trying it out. Versus in Austin, there are people that kind of do that, but for the most part, they actually have a membership and they're just kind of sucky, right? And they just don't come that often, but they're more dedicated than like the day trial people. And I guess I'm not afraid to say this because I already made this as one of my goals. But really, I'm talking about the girls that come in, and I don't know, there's just prettier girls that rock climbed in LA. And so it's just not really worth it. So I'm gonna start going to the gym, and maybe I can meet a gym girl. And yeah, I guess that's my new plan. And play some more basketball too. I want to play some more basketball. So I'm gonna stop rock climbing. But yeah, so I'm trying to life max. And I think a lot of things I do are in mind to be a more valuable person in life. And so I guess people consider, I think, being more valuable and having more options are synonymous. So I think my end goal is to have more options in life, and not really in women. I mean just more eat what I want to eat, which I guess maybe for now I can't do that, but do what I want to do. Like if I want to play video games during the day, I should be able to play video games during the day, right? I want to get to that type of life quicker. And so yeah, I've been pretty happy. I'm happy with the growth. I want to start increasing the rate because I think I can, but I really got to start planning more in my life to do so. But I'll catch y'all later. Peace.